Good morning everyone. It's Sunday morning here. The sun is shining and the wind is blowing and it's a little bit cool. But it's a beautiful day and my babies are looking just beautiful today. I've dressed them in their matching outfits like I usually do, but this time it's just really sweet little long sleeved all-in-ones. Jonty's got a little deer or Bambi on his, and Pippa has a, let me see if I can show you. Pippa's is a little bunny. There's the bunny. Oh, he's lost his thumb, never mind. And there's the deer for Jonty. Pretty cute, hey? And they're matching little beanie hats with the little knots on top. So thank you very much for coming over to my house again. And today, as while you're looking at the babies, I'd really like to do Shannon's tag from Love Me Some Reborn Babies. Shannon asked us to talk about what changes we've seen in the reborn hobby because of the changes that are happening in the weather right now. Now this is for a competition, but I am cheating a little bit because, as you know, I'm in Australia, and here obviously it's not autumn, it's our spring now. But I think maybe I can lessen that cheatingness by saying it's pretty cold today. I've even got a jacket on, so maybe we can pretend it's autumn here. But I can tell you about some of the changes that happen in springtime here, that obviously everything starts growing and the grass is up to my knees already and things like that. But for me, something I always notice every year is the increase in spiders. As soon as it starts to get warm, all the spider webs come again, and there's little spiders everywhere and they grow into big spiders. And I just want to tell you about what happens to me when I go to work, because my shift doesn't start till midnight, so I leave home around 11. It doesn't take me long to get to work. It's only about 12 minutes to drive there, but I like to get there a bit early and have a chat and make a cuppa and all that kind of thing when I get there. So I leave at about 11, and by that time of night, of course, it's very dark. And I have, or everyone here has, these spiders called orb spiders, and they build very beautiful elaborate webs that can go right across your garden, and they sit smack dab in the middle of it. So when I go out to my car, I have to go under my great big beautiful frangipani tree that's just coming into leaf at the moment. And there's always, every year I get one cheeky orb spider who decides he's going to build a giant web right across where I have to walk. So I end up, oh, it's just the worst feeling. I hold my phone up with a light and shine it under the tree so I can see where I'm going and make sure I'm not walking smack dab into a big web across my face. They're not dangerous spiders, they just eat, you know, like spiders do, and catch things in their webs. And I'm a bit too big for the spider to eat, and I don't want to be caught in his web. So that's that's one of the really big things I noticed. Last summer, I had like the most horrible experience. I was in my room, in my bedroom. It was about 10 o'clock at night, and I was just talking on the phone to a girlfriend, and I looked up into the top corner of my room, and there was a massive, like I'm talking massive, black spider up in the corner. So I decided, after I hung up the phone, there's no way I'm sleeping in that room because I don't know where he's going to go, and he's not going to crawl on my face while I'm asleep. So I abandoned that room and came to sleep in my grandchildren, in one of the other bedrooms, my grandchildren's bedroom that they use. So I didn't sleep, I just lay there really uncomfortable and worried about the black spider. And then in the morning when I got up, I went into my room to have a look, and of course he wasn't there. So that just makes it 100 times worse, because at least when you can see them, you know where they are. So what I did was I rang my trusty friends Jen and Ron again, who helped me with the possum. And Jen came over, and actually I had to go to a dog club meeting all that day, but Jen has a spare key. So she came in, and while I was out, she sprayed the entire room with I don't know how many cans of spray, a lot, maybe 1.5 cans of spray, and then she closed up the room and she left. And then when I came home from my meeting, which was at about 4:30 in the afternoon, there's Jen just rocking up again, and this time she had a bucket and some rubber gloves and sponges and things, because the sweet girl, this just shows you what a good friend she is. She'd come back to wash the floor for me so that I didn't slip over in all the fly spray. I mean, you couldn't get much better friend than that, could you? I didn't ask her to do that. She just was worried about me. So I've known Jen for 37 years. She's just the most fabulous friend, absolutely amazing. We used to have a preschool group together. That wasn't how we met. We met way before then, but we had the best time working together with the children because we both love them, love little children, and it was great. Anyway, so there was Jen coming back to wash the floor for me, and she like pulled the room apart again looking for that dead black body, but there was none. So I have a feeling he came out from, we have these old-fashioned, because this is a really old house, we have old-fashioned kind of grates that were meant for ventilation, and they're high up on the wall, and they're open to the outside. And I think Mr. Spider came visiting, didn't like being inside, and went back out the grate. But anyway, that's my theory because I've never seen him again. But for me, that's a big change in springtime, all the creatures that come around. Lots more creatures. Now, let me talk about reborns now. I'm sorry, I seem to be able to gas bag on without even realising I'm doing it. I hope you don't get too bored with it, especially because you're just looking at the babies and they don't really do anything. But anyway, yes, changes in the reborn world. I mean, for the longest time, maybe 6 years, I've been a reborn artist and didn't actually think too deeply about where my dolls went when I sold them. I was happy that people loved them, but for me the big thing was making them. I just, a different challenge every time, and each kit, asks to be painted differently, and I just really love doing it. So it's not until I got onto YouTube to have a look at reborns on YouTube that I started to really appreciate all the true value that these dolls bring to us, that the joy and the happiness that we get from them. So one of the changes, a very basic change that I've noticed in reborning, is obviously the quality of the vinyl. It's much softer now, and the quality of the sculpting as well, because it's much more detailed, much more accurate now, and so that's brilliant. Let me see, what else did she ask? Oh, she asked what changes would we like. Well, there are just two changes that I would love. One of them is like futuristic and probably impossible, but you just never know these days, do you? I would love to have reborn babies that are like silicons, that are full-bodied, flexible, feel like a real baby, but are still a doll, and without any of the silicone problems. So no tearing, no stickiness, all that kind of stuff. I'd love to have a doll that was really like a baby. It wouldn't have to make noise or move. I would just love it to be full-bodied and just like a real baby. So that's what I love in that direction about the dolls. But the thing I would love more than anything else is that if people who collected reborns could just be accepted as being normal people who collect reborns. I get tired of having to try to defend people who collect reborns, because I shouldn't have to do that. Everyone's just a person, and we all like different things, and if you like a reborn doll, it doesn't make you any more crackers than the next person in the street. So that's the biggest change that I would love to see in the reborn world. I think that would be brilliant if we didn't have to feel silly or think twice about telling people that we collect these dolls. It would be fantastic. That's what I would really love. Now let me just see if I wrote a few notes. Let me just see if there's anything else I should address for Shannon. What have I seen? No. Oh, what do I love most about the hobby? Well, what I really love most about the hobby, aside from making the babies, dressing the babies, posing the babies, making videos, what I love the most is meeting all of you people. I think it's just been an eye-opener and so much pleasure for me, so lovely to have so many new friends from all over the world, people who who are so similar to me and understand me and I understand them, and it's just been, that for me is just the greatest thing. I love that. So thank you everybody in the Reborn community on YouTube, because you are wonderful and it's great fun to know you. And I guess I'll end the video now. I hope Shannon thought this answer was okay, even though I'm cheating because it's not autumn here but spring instead. Hopefully that's acceptable for you, Shannon. So, okay, just want to send my love to all of you and say take care and be kind to each other. Bye bye everyone. See you next time.